Welcome back to the Daily Doji. This is technical analysis. No BS, no nonsense, and no hype. I'm not one of those people that likes to hype crypto. In fact, I'll use this as an opportunity to warn you that, yikes, that looks like a, we'll look at that in a minute. But I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not necessarily recommending trading, especially if you don't know how to do your own analysis, which most people don't. So I'm not trying to give a signal for when to buy and sell. Instead, what I'm saying is be careful, because a lot of people in the last bull market were just absolutely ignorant and argued with me about stuff that was not even, it's like about the sky is blue, and then someone argues that no, it isn't, because they're like 13 years old or something probably on the internet and don't really know anything. But even people, middle-aged people, that this stuff isn't necessarily taught in school. So trade at your own risk. You could always paper trade, which is free, and then you don't have to risk losing anything. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, I feel a rant going on. Let's take a look at some Elliott waves. I've been looking at the S&P 500 because this is the SPY. This is an ETF, but this is the most recent tracking of it. And it looks like it's about halfway done with a 1, 2, 3 wave, is what it looks like so far. But as it plays out, we'll get more info, and I'll be able to update this. If this doesn't happen, then I'll be looking at the count, because corrective waves aren't exactly predictable compared to impulse waves. Talk about that in every video, and I talk about it in detail in my course on Udemy, which I just put up on there. So, one of you is actually in there right now. Let me know some feedback. If it's if it's not 5 stars, let me know what it needs to be at to get there. Otherwise, please do rate it. Thank you. And if you're interested, let me know in there. But you can just check it out. I'm sure there's a link somewhere. That being said, this is one potential pattern that could play out. There are more than one corrective pattern. Sometimes there are waves of 3. It looks like there are going to be waves of 3. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, and then also 1, 2, 3 right there, and 1, 2, 3 going sideways so far. So nothing changed with this. I'll just move on. I've been checking out, eyeballing gold and silver. I know most crypto people scoff at gold and silver, but I think that's pretty stupid and ignorant to scoff at gold and silver. Even if you love crypto, you can do more than one thing. You can like pizza and also like pasta. It's not like you know what I'm saying? It's not like you have to pick one, and then it's not a cult. You can do whatever you want. Okay, I've been eyeballing BONK, and I will warn, this is a brand new coin, and I'm not promoting it or anything. I'm just friends with people that on Twitter and got involved through NFTs. So it's on my radar. And I'm trading it, but I'm not. You know, it's brand new. I'm not like trying to pump it or anything like that. Be careful, especially with brand new random coins. That being said, I'm careful, so I'm looking at it, and that's okay. I just wanted to warn you every second because I feel like people don't listen. This looks like it's going to go down another wave, kind of like this wave right here, even though I don't really want it to. Trying to keep my... So I thought it might pop in the last video. It looks like I thought it was going to go up one more wave. Now, this wave is becoming so long sideways that I think it was done. And this looks like some weird 5-wave structure right here. It's not an impulse, 5-impulse wave. It's, I think, a counter-trend corrective wave going sideways. And this one looks very similar. It's just smaller. It's a fractal. A fractal is a wave or something that's repeating but not exactly the same. So it's like a mathematical pattern. And when I saw this looking like that, oh, this also, here's another difficult thing with a coin with barely any market cap, is that was this the bottom, that wick, or was this the bottom? And once I realized that it couldn't be this, and then I saw this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which could have been the end wave in a, wouldn't have been a XYZ, would have been in A, B, C. So that could be done. Well, that could have been the middle of the wave, and there could be another one coming up. Because this wick did hit a new bottom. So it's dangerous. I think it's going to come down another wave, unfortunately. I've been weary of that, this whole sideways action right here. And then, you know, I knew that that's a possible chance, but so I've been eyeballing it. All right, let's move on. I don't want to stay too long on each one because unless somebody asks for specific things. Here's Doge and SHIB. This still looks like, let me see this full screen. This, I drew this last time and nothing has really changed. In fact, it looks like it's happening like I drew. So we'll keep an eye on it. And I was just casually drawing that line. It wasn't like in a precision wave or anything, but it looks, this is the general pattern I was expecting to happen next. Nothing's changed, so we'll see. All right, HEX in my in my video 2 videos ago, I was talking about HEX and I was like, it's boring, nothing's happening. And then I was talking about my course, and then the next day it rocketed 30%. So what I was thinking is that it's doing the same thing as everything else. Is it ever going to bottom? But now it's made not only this wave, but also another wave came up here. And now this making me wonder, it's looking like a potential 5-wave pattern, doesn't it? Well then, where's this first wave end? See, well, the first wave doesn't look very good. That looks more like a 1, 2, 3, and then coming down, and then another 1, 2, 3. Okay. So from zoomed out, it looked a little bit like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now that I look at it a little bit more closely, it looks more like, although it's hard to tell that which one of those was lower. Pretty much the same. Okay. It's not as clean of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as I would like. So it could end up being a 7 swing, where it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that might have been the top, but I would have to look more closely. All right, well, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping for a 5 wave going up. That way it would kind of start signaling so this I see some waves down here like that. This one, correction going sideways like that. So it's make a new high above this, and there's nothing really stopping it from blasting up to 7 cents or something right now. It's hard to tell. It does look like starting to look like a sell for what I would consider selling. But that's just me. I'm not telling you what to do or anything like that. I just look for when this RSI starts slowing down and the price keeps rocketing. However, it might do it again, like this, something like that, and down here still make a new high. Something like that is not uncommon at all. So the tops of these, if I was trading this, which I'm not, I would probably be trying to get out now and maybe just not all the way in case it goes up to that next little wave. And then maybe thinking about accumulating some after this next big drop. Because if it goes down under a cent, I have my eyes on this because my friend is interested in it. But also he's not shilling it or anything. He's just as careful and warning about it as I am. As long as you know what you're getting into, it's okay. But a lot of people have unrealistic ego trips or something like that, especially as a beginner. All right, next, let's move on. So I'm not going to leave that there because that might not happen, but dangerous. That was a good trade for if you got in down below 2 cents. Wow. Yeah, I would be taking profits probably right there. But that's just me. I'm not, again, not advice for anyone else. Okay, this looks like another sideways 1, 2, 3 action going on. W, X, Y, something like that on CRO. It's wow, these wicks are insane. That's not necessarily good for trading. So It might finish that wave. It's trying to wick up there. It might actually try to finish that. But with all these overlapping, I see 1, 2, 3 patterns. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's not bullish. And then Google. I just had my eye on some of the bigger tech stocks, and wow, looks like this is playing out. Let's see. I'm not sure that that's the corrective pattern that's going to play out, because that's just one potential correction pattern. There are more than one. And if we get more, if this B wave comes soaring up here, it could come crashing back down there. So just because if this does come back up and come even close to the high, it doesn't necessarily mean the correction is over, because corrections have waves that go up in them. That's the big thing I'm trying to get across to people. They just, like, people on Twitter don't listen, don't care. People on YouTube maybe are interested a little more, but there could be a big wave a B wave in the middle and then comes down again, just like we saw in some things in the last corrections. Like this is what I drew it out just as a potential what could happen. Or this is Facebook or Meta. This could do a wave like that, an ABC zigzag. This is called an ABC flat correction. So even though it says ABC, it's different than this ABC. And again, either of them could end up doing this. We need more data right now. So I wouldn't be personally going in long on this, hoping to have a B wave up here. I think that trade is over, for me anyway. That the careful B wave trade, then it could come down and then go up another 3 waves, and it's tricky. So it's probably going to come down and go up another 3 waves, but it could only come up to like here, and then it could come down something like there, almost back to nothing, or back to what it originally sold for. Well, alerts are going crazy. What is going on? BONK is going down, yeah. This could be, this also could be the middle of this wave going sideways. This started here, and that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this is a 1, 2, 3, could come down, and then still come back up way over here somewhere. But it's not like that's a risky one, because because that could have been done right there. So could continue that sideways pattern. I kind of think it will, especially if everything is having like a little, everyone thinks is a bull rally right now. This little 3 wave going down could come down somewhere like that, and then another wave another similar wave that looks like this could happen right there. But would I bet $1 million on it? No. So that's the thing. Although I'm starting to see a little, there's a little maybe short-term buy signal maybe coming up. But that signal is just hypothetical for me, Not telling anyone else. Definitely don't try to copy, because then, I'm not online 24/7 sharing what I'm going to do next. So that's why you should learn how to fend for yourself. That way you don't have to rely on other people. Don't rely on other people. Rely on yourself. And if you can't right now, learn until you feel like you can. And if you never get there, don't, do something else that you do feel that you can rely on. Everyone's good at something. If you end up not being good at this, it's okay. Don't put extra pressure by forcing it. Some people are good at it, controlling their emotions and just trying to count waves. Other people are not patient yet. So you could become good at it, but it doesn't mean it's ever going to happen. It's up to the person, and there's no guarantee that you're ever going to get good at something. It's up to you to get good at it or not. And know thyself. Know what you're good at and what you're not good at. This is a lot about psychology. This is all psychology. Elliott Waves is all psychology. The chart is showing the psychology, the evidence, like the result of the psychology is right here, right in front of us. This is a psychology lesson in BONK, in people. People, and maybe some bots trading, but then people programmed the bots too. So it still has human influence. All right, we'll see what happens with this. It's a brand new thing, so once it does bottom out, I'm expecting some kind of rocket if it does another wave up, but there's no guarantee that it will. Alrighty, I think that's about it for this one. I was looking at some other stuff. If there's anything that you want to see, let me know. Apple is doing some sideways 1, 2, 3 action. 1, 2, 3 sideways. And man, Shopify looked nice and juicy there. And then remember, I keep talking about these B waves. There might be a B wave that could go all the way up to the previous high, or it might not even make it above this 200 EMA. So there might have been a good trade there at the bottom. There was a nice signal on the RSI for me, like I was trying to explain before. That is the reverse of what I was talking about before, because it would be on the buy side rather than the sell side. And it depends on the time frame too. This is the weekly chart, so that's more of a longer trade. But if you zoom in a little more, let's make this full screen. Man, see here, right? Here's an example of the sell signal that I was talking about earlier. That's what I would be looking for me. And then when it keeps going up against this is coming down. The strength is coming down, the price is going up. That's a recipe for disaster. And then wham! And then down here, the opposite thing happened. Bottomed out. I mean, it bottomed out over here, bottomed out again over here, bottomed out again over here. But look at this. The strength was going up, up, and up. So that would have been, for me, a really great signal. I might have bought a little, but I think not very much. So maybe missed it, but I'm keeping track. That doesn't mean the correction's over. That looks like just the first wave down is over. So got to be careful, like I said, because it could do a B wave all the way up, and people could be like, "Ooh, bull market." Although this isn't crypto, but the way I'm looking at the technicals almost doesn't matter. However, the fundamentals matter. And that's something that I don't talk about much in these videos. But, Warren Buffett is famous for being a fundamental investor. And doesn't really talk about the chart. He talks more about the long-term value of the company. So if Shopify has a good long-term value, then it would be a good buy regardless of the chart, according to him, as far as I understand it. So, some people are looking for the fundamentals to be really good and then the chart to crash, and then they scoop up for longer term buys, like if they're taking over the company or something like that. All right, well, that's all I'll touch on it today. If you want to know more about that, feel free to chat about it in the comments and get the discussion going. Thank you, everyone that's been back after I took a break for a while, and people came back and have been commenting again. I appreciate your comments. They help definitely a lot with the algorithm and everything like that. So thank you. See you in the next one. Trade at your own risk. Have an amazing day on purpose. Peace.